Hi everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution, that is lambda 0, the determination of the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte as well as for the strong electrolyte, and the Kohlrausch law. So, these three concepts we are going to discuss in this lecture. So, let us consider one by one. So, here the first of all, let us discuss the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. Friends, the equivalence conductance, all of you know that what is my equivalence conductance? It is the conductance of the volume of the solution containing the 1 gram equivalent of the electrolyte, and which is placed between the two electrodes, generally which are 1 centimeter apart. So, this is called as the equivalence conductance. So, here the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution, it is denoted by symbol lambda 0 or lambda infinity. So, here according to the equation, already we have discussed this equation, lambda is equal to lambda 0 minus b under root c, where b is the constant, c is the concentration, lambda is the equivalence conductance, then lambda 0 is the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. So, here the lambda 0 at the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution is the value of the equivalence conductance when c is equal to 0. Let us consider once again what is by lambda 0 or lambda infinity. So, lambda 0, the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution is the value of the equivalence conductance when c is equal to 0. But friends, this is a meaningless, since solution with the 0 concentration is the pure solvent. So, what is implied in this is that the solution is so dilute that no further dilution, its equivalence conductance does not change. So, here in the dilute solution, the dissociation is complete and the lambda of the solution reaches to limiting value. So, such a solution is called as the infinitely dilute solution, and the equivalence conductance of such solution is called as the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. Suppose friends, if we have the 100 ml of the solution, point on normal solution of any electrolyte, then here if we add the small amount of water, all of you know that as the dilution increases or as the concentration decreases, generally here there is an increase in the equivalence conductance. So, here when we add the water, here there is an increase in the equivalence conductance, but finally here the limiting value of the equivalence conductance is obtained. That is, after certain dilution, there is no change in the value of the equivalence conductance, and we get the constant or the limiting value of the equivalence conductance. That constant or the limiting value of the equivalence conductance for that particular electrolyte, it is called as the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution, and it is denoted by symbol lambda 0 or the lambda infinity. Then here the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte. So, here the lambda values of the strong electrolyte approaches limiting value in the dilute solution. In such cases, the line obtained by plotting, that is the lambda versus under root c, it is extrapolated to 0 concentration. So, friends, here how to determine the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte or lambda infinity for the strong electrolyte. For that purpose, here we have to plot the graph of lambda versus under root c. So, already we have discussed this graph. So, this is the equivalence conductance, that is the lambda, this is under root c. So, the graph for the strong electrolyte as well as the weak electrolyte. So, here the HCl and KCl, these two are the strong electrolyte, while the acetic acid is the weak electrolyte. So, here if we have to determine the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte such as the HCl and KCl, how the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte is obtained? So, here what is the answer? Here first of all we have to plot the graph of lambda versus under root c, then here we have to extrapolate the graph of the strong electrolyte. So, here practically as we change the concentration or as we change the dilution, there is no appreciable or there is no more change in the equivalence conductance for the strong electrolyte. Practically all the values are nearly same. So, here let us consider the case of the KCl. So, here this is the graph for the KCl, and practically all the values of the equivalence conductance with the concentration or with the dilutions are same. So, here it is possible to extrapolate the graph. So, here we have to extrapolate the graph, and the value obtained here in case of the KCl, this value is lambda 0 for the KCl. Similar way here we can extrapolate the graph of the HCl. So, here when we extrapolate the graph of the HCl and the intercept made by the line on the y axis, this is the value of the lambda 0 for the HCl. So, here lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte. So lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte or the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution for the strong electrolyte, it can be determined by plotting the graph of lambda versus under root c, and here we have to extrapolate the graph to the 0 concentration, and the intercept made by the line on the y axis is the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte. Then the next one is the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte. So here the some values for the strong electrolytes are given in the table. So here these are the electrolyte and their lambda 0 values. For the KCl the value is 149.86. For SCl it is a 426.11. AgNO3 it is 133.36. These are the values for the H2SO4 and the barium chloride. So here the lambda 0 values for the strong electrolyte at 25 degree Celsius. Then here friends, this method of obtaining lambda 0, it cannot be used in case of the weak electrolyte. So here this is because lambda values for these electrolytes continue to increase rapidly with decrease in the concentration. So here when we consider the weak electrolyte, the same method is not applicable, or the same method is not useful for the determination of the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte, because here the lambda values for weak electrolyte continue to increase rapidly with decrease in the concentration. So here let us consider once again the graph. So here acetic acid is the weak electrolyte, and here this is the nature of the graph. So here it is not possible to extrapolate the graph. So here as we decrease the concentration, there is a large increase in the equivalence conductance in case of the weak electrolyte. So here the graph of the weak electrolyte, it is not extrapolated. So here the same method which we used for the determination of the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte, the same method is not used for the determination of the lambda infinity of the weak electrolyte such as the acetic acid. So here without approaching the limiting values, okay. So due to this, the extrapolation of the lambda versus under root c graph to 0 concentration is not possible. So here how the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte is determined? Then the answer is that for the determination of the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte, we have to use the method which is based on the Kohlrausch law, and here this Kohlrausch law is applied to the obtain lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte. So our next point is the Kohlrausch law. So here generally Kohlrausch law, it is useful for the determination of the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte. So let us consider the statement of the Kohlrausch law. So it states that at infinite dilution, when ionization of the weak electrolyte is complete, all interionic effects disappear, each ion migrate independently. So here when we consider the dilute solution of the weak electrolyte, at that time each ion migrate independently of its co-ion and contribute its definite share to the total equivalence conductance. So here when we consider the acetic acid, and when we consider the acetic acid, the cation is H plus ion and the anion is the acetate ion, and here this cation as well as the acetate ion, they contribute to the total equivalence conductance, and the contribution to the equivalence conductance by the ion depends only on the nature of the ion, and it does not depend on its co-ion. So here this is the statement of the Kohlrausch law. Let us consider once again. It states that at infinite dilution, when ionization of the weak electrolyte is complete and all interionic effects disappear, each ion migrate independently of its co-ion and contributes its definite share to the total equivalence conductance, and the contribution to the equivalence conductance by the ion depends only on the nature of the ion and does not depend upon its co-ion. In short, the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution of electrolyte should be sum of the equivalence conductances of ions composing the electrolyte under similar condition of the temperature and the solvent. So here this is the equation as per Kohlrausch law, that is the lambda 0 is equal to equivalence ionic conductance for cation at infinite dilution plus equivalence ionic conductance for anion at infinite dilution. So here friends, these two are the equivalence ionic conductances at infinite dilution for the cation and the anion. So this is as per Kohlrausch law. So here the lambda 0, again it is the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. So according to this law, the difference between the lambda 0 of electrolyte containing a common ion should be constant, and here let us consider some examples in the table. So these are the electrolytes, then here the lambda lambda 0, then here the difference. So here let us consider the KCl and the NaCl. So value of the KCl is 130, value of the NaCl is 108.9, so the difference is 21.1. So here when we consider the pair KCl and the NaCl, so let us consider the second pair or the next pair, potassium nitrate and the sodium nitrate. So here their values of the lambda 0 126.3, 105.2, and here the difference between these two values, it is at 21.1. So here what is the common thing here? Here the K plus ion and Na plus ions are common. Then here the Cl minus and the Cl minus. So in this pair Cl minus, in KCl the anion is the Cl minus, in the NaCl anion is the Cl minus. Here also in the KNO3 and sodium nitrate, here the anions are nitrate ions, and here the difference between these two values, it is at 21.1. So here the difference in the lambda 0 values of the sodium and potassium salts arises due to the difference in the contribution to the lambda 0 from K plus and Na plus ion. That is the equivalence ionic conductance for K plus ion at infinite dilution and the equivalence ionic conductance of Na plus at infinite dilution. So contribution from the anion will be cancelled, being the common ion. So here we have the equation, that is the lambda 0 is equal to, as per Kohlrausch law, lambda 0 is equal to equivalence ionic conductance for cation at infinite dilution plus equivalence ionic conductance for anion at infinite dilution. From this equation we can write, that is the lambda 0 for the KCl. So here the equivalence ionic conductance for the K plus ion at infinite dilution, equivalence plus equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus ion at infinite dilution. Then here the lambda 0 for the NaCl. So here equivalence ionic conductance for Na plus ion at infinite dilution plus the equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus at infinite dilution. So here the lambda 0 for the KCl minus lambda 0 for the NaCl, substituting these two values. Here we can say that is the equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus ions at infinite dilution. It will be cancelled with minus that is the equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus ion at infinite dilution. These two terms are cancelled, and finally here we get the difference between the lambda infinity or lambda 0 for the KCl and NaCl is equal to, or it is due to the difference in the equivalence ionic conductance of the K plus ion at infinite dilution, and here the equivalence ionic conductance of the Na plus at infinite dilution. Then here friends, calculation of the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte. So here once again, if we have to determine the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte, we have to plot the graph of lambda versus under root C, and the graph of the strong electrolyte, it extrapolate up to the C is equal to 0, and then we can determine the lambda 0 for the strong electrolyte. But the same method is not useful for the weak electrolyte. So here the calculation of the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte. So two methods are used to calculate lambda 0 of the weak electrolyte. Suppose that here lambda 0 of acetic acid, weak electrolyte, is to be obtained. So here friends, if we have to find out the lambda 0 of the acetic acid, generally two methods are used. The method number 1, this method number 1, it is based on the Kohlrausch law. So here the table of equivalence ionic conductances at infinite dilution, and these values are given in the table. So here this is the table, these are the cations. So here equivalence ionic conductance for the cation at infinite dilution, these are the anions, and here these are the values for equivalence ionic conductance for the anion at infinite dilution. So here K plus, Na plus, lithium plus. So what is the value of K plus? It is 73.52. Then here what is the value for H plus? It is 349.82. Then here the Cl minus ion, Br minus ion. So these are the values for the anion. So here we have to find out the lambda 0 for the acetic acid. So here as per Kohlrausch law, we have the equation lambda 0 for the acetic acid is equal to that is the equivalence ionic conductance for H plus ion at infinite dilution plus equivalence ionic conductance for the acetate ion at infinite dilution. These two values are available in the table. So for the H plus ion, this value is 349.82, and for acetate ion, so here this value is 40.9. So here substituting the values 40.9 here, By adding these two value, we get the lambda 0 for the acetic acid, and the final answer is 390.72 ohm inverse centimeter square. So this is the case for the acetic acid. If we consider the NH4OH, so here NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide, it is also weak electrolyte. So here the NH4 plus, its value is 73.4, and OH minus ion, its value is 198. So here we have to add 73 plus 4 plus 198, and here we will get the lambda 0 for the NH4OH. So here in this way, by adding the equivalence ionic conductance for the cation and by equivalence ionic conductance for the anion, here we can determine the lambda 0 for any weak electrolyte by using this data. Then next one is the second method. Second method is the arithmetic method. So here this method is based on the the equation of the Kohl-Rausch law, that is the lambda 0 is equal to equivalence ionic conductance for the cation at infinite dilution plus equivalence ionic conductance for the anion at infinite dilution. So in this method, the lambda 0 values of properly selected strong electrolytes are added and subtracted so as get the lambda 0 of the desired weak electrolyte. So friends, first of all here we have to select the strong electrolyte. So here the strong electrolyte, their values of the lambda 0 can be added or the subtracted just to obtain the lambda 0 of the weak electrolyte. So let us consider the example of the acetic acid. So as per Kohl-Rausch law, the lambda 0 for the acetic acid is equal to equivalence ionic conductance for the H plus ion at infinite dilution plus equivalence ionic conductance for the acetate ion at infinite dilution. So here which strong electrolyte we have to select just to determine, just to find out the lambda 0 for the acetic acid. So these are the three strong electrolyte. Number one is the HCl, second one is the sodium acetate, that is the CH3CONa, and third one is the NaCl. So as per Kohl-Rausch law equation, here we can write the lambda 0 for the HCl. This is the equation for the lambda 0 for the HCl. The similar equation can be written lambda 0 for the sodium acetate is equal to, that is the equivalence ionic conductance for Na plus ion at infinite dilution plus equivalence ionic conductance for the acetate at infinite dilution, and this is the equation for the NaCl. So here we have to perform certain operation, and what is that operation? That operation is the lambda 0 for HCl plus lambda 0 for the sodium acetate minus lambda 0 for the NaCl. We have the equation for the lambda 0 for HCl, lambda 0 for sodium acetate, and lambda 0 for the NaCl. So here let us substitute all these equation here. So here is equal to, that is equivalence ionic conductance for the H plus ion plus equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus ion. Here there is a plus sign, that's why plus, equivalence ionic conductance for the Na plus ion, then equivalence ionic conductance for the acetate ion, here minus because here there is a minus sign, equivalence ionic conductance for the Na plus and minus equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus ion. So here this plus equivalence ionic conductance for the Cl minus and minus equivalence ionic conductance of the Cl minus, these two values are cancelled. Similar way, the values for the Na plus, these two values are also cancelled, and finally here we get the equivalence ionic conductance for the H plus ion plus equivalence ionic conductance for the acetate ion at infinite dilution, and it is equal to lambda 0 for the acetic acid. So here if we have to determine the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte, first of all we have to select the certain strong electrolyte and we have to perform certain operations, and directly here we can substitute the value of the lambda 0 of HCl, lambda 0 for the sodium acetate, and lambda 0 for the NaCl. So here these values of the strong electrolyte are obtained just by extrapolating the graph of lambda versus under root C, and directly here we can substitute the value, then we will get the lambda 0 for the weak electrolyte. So these are the two methods which are used to determine the lambda 0 of weak electrolyte, and generally here these both the methods, they are dependent on the Kohl-Rausch law. Then the last point, degree of dissociation of the weak electrolyte. So here the any weak electrolyte is partially dissociated in the solution. Already we have discussed the definition of the weak electrolyte. So weak electrolyte is a substance which partially dissociate, or here there is an incomplete dissociation. So here weak electrolyte is partially dissociated in the solution. The extent of the dissociation is described in terms of degree of dissociation. So what is my degree of dissociation, or what is the definition of the degree of dissociation? It is the fraction of the electrolyte that is a dissociate into ion and that is free to carry the current. So here this is the definition of the degree of dissociation. Generally degree of dissociation, it is denoted by symbol alpha. It mainly depends on the nature of the electrolyte, whether the electrolyte is strong electrolyte or the weak electrolyte. So here degree of dissociation, it depends on the nature of electrolyte, as well as for given electrolyte it varies with the concentration and the temperature. That means degree of dissociation, it is also depend on the concentration and the temperature. So here the lambda 0 for the electrolyte corresponding to complete dissociation of the electrolyte, that is alpha is equal to 1. That means here when we consider the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution for any electrolyte, at that time this there is a alpha is equal to 1. That means there is a 100% dissociation or 100% ionization of that electrolyte. So here alpha is equal to 1. Here the ratio lambda divided by lambda 0 then represent the fraction of the electrolyte that is dissociated at the particular concentration of the solution, and this is the degree of dissociation of the electrolyte. So here alpha is equal to lambda upon lambda 0 for that particular electrolyte. What is the lambda? So lambda is the equivalence conductance at a given concentration, and lambda 0 is the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. So here this is the equation, alpha is equal to lambda upon lambda 0. So in case of the strong electrolyte which dissociate completely in dilute solution, and the ratio lambda divided by lambda 0 is almost equal to unity, because in case of the strong electrolyte, all of you know that in case of the strong electrolyte there is a complete dissociation or there is a complete ionization in the solution. So the value lambda and lambda infinity, they are nearly same, that's why this ratio is equal to 1 in case of the strong electrolyte. But here in case of the weak electrolyte, these values are not same. So here the alpha, it is a less than 1, and here the degree of dissociation of the weak electrolyte, so it can be determined by using the formula alpha is equal to lambda divided by lambda 0. So friends, in this lecture we have discussed the various terms which are useful in the electrolytic conductance, such as the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution, that is the lambda 0, then determination of the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution, and the Kohlrausch law. Thank you.